Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream tonight. Glad to be here. Yep, did not get around to it last night. I tried a couple of times, but ran into complications. So we're back tonight. We're ready to get on with sculpting out a tiny Bigfoot. I'm going to pull up just a little bit of reference for that. Just the tiniest bit. There's plenty to choose from here. So how we all doing tonight? Hope everybody's good. So yeah, at the moment we have a teeny tiny little Bigfoot here we're going to work on. Camera's been maneuvered slightly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh no, what's happened? Everything I'd worked on has turned to ash. Gotta turn this whole thing like this, and then see if I can like pop it back into place here. See, is there anything? Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. I don't know why my whole setup is now a little wonky, but there we go. Okay. Where did my box of gifts go? There. One size fits two. So welcome everybody. Yep, like I said, tonight we're going to be working on a tiny Bigfoot to go with our tiny Mothman and tiny Beast of Busco that I've sculpted out. These are all going to be done up in pewter figures. So, get my gloves on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we have like these pewter Mothmen that I have made from a sculpt. Still working to clean a lot of these up. I'm actually redoing their mold right now to make it so that they're not such a problem to fix. So we have those. And then our Beast of Busco is now in pewter. Need to polish it up a lot. But there it is. Check him out. It's just a giant turtle, but oh there. Oh, thank you, camera, for cooperating. So yeah, there's our teeny tiny Beast of Busco crashing through a rowboat. A lot of this I need to trim off as well. I see some spots where the metal didn't set quite right in the molds. Oh, that's okay. That's pretty cool looking anyway. Adds character, they say. So yeah, I'll have to just go through and hit this with a polishing wheel. But Bigfoot will be our third in our pewter cryptid series. And I feel like I actually need to make him taller, just a little bit. Kind of account for the same amount of, no, not really. I think keeping them to scale. They're about the right, same size, because Bigfoots are like 8 to 9 feet tall. Mothman would be 6 to 7, but he's crouched. So I think that would even out. And then Beast of Busco is supposed to have a shell that's like 6 feet. So yeah, it's not far off on the scale, actually. So we're gonna just get back to it tonight, kind of pressing the clay into everywhere it needs to go. Like I said, I hope everybody's had a good week so far that's watching. Yeah, like I said, we're just gonna get back into it. Not gonna worry about super duper amazing fine muscle detail because it's all gonna get covered in fur. Because Bigfoot's hairy. And I've been trying to keep these to lore accurate as far as like their depictions go. Let's zoom in actually. Give me just a second here. I need to pop open my camera controls, click a thing. There. That's better. So anyhow. Yeah, like the Beast of Busco, again, it's just a giant snapping turtle, Mothman. It was the most indescript monster ever designed. So I just feel like as a cryptid goes, I kind of wanted to do one based off of the original Patterson Gimli film, but I've gone ahead and I've gone with the more modern take on this cryptid, this sculpture. And I gotta say, out of all the reference pictures I have pulled up right now, the Jack Link's beef jerky Sasquatch is like chef's kiss perfect. I'm gonna leave in enough muscle detail so that way we all get the impression that yes, uh, Sasquatch is beefy under all of that fur, like all of his fluff and stuff. Like no, like I said, I'm just kind of going through and smoothing it all in a bit, move it around, check it all out. I guess here in a bit, I'm gonna also do like a little mini tour of my shop. Um, it's kind of been seen in the background here and there, but do that or I'll save it for Patreon. I can't decide. Let's see, we're gonna actually move this muscle up and just make that part of the shoulder right there. I just worked on like big muscle builds for that Cyclops just a couple months ago, so the imagery is still pretty fresh in my head for like where everything needs to go. Very similar build is what I'm giving him. Okay. Like I said, I'm just cutting in where the muscles are going to be at. I'm not going to go through in super fine detail all of this. Man, the weather got nice, and I thought I was busy during the winter, and I have just been even more slammed with things to do because it's spring and it's warm, and I want to get outside and do stuff. But I'm pretty sore from winter time. We were doing a lot of work around here, our little homestead we got going on. So I'm beat. I usually take it pretty easy in the wintertime, but not this year. Okay. Oops. We just throw Bigfoot down on the ground. It's fine. And for whatever reason, this Sculpey did not take very well to the armature underneath. So I'm kind of fighting to keep the clay more or less where I want it right now. Push this around a little bit. Kind of just roughing out the muscles. There we go. Make sure the hands are pretty close to the spots where they need to be. And then we got to make the feet big. Oh, bigger. It's already got big feet. It's in the name.
Just the hair.
Okay. Feeling pretty good about that right now. Big muscle bound Bigfoot in the iconic pose. Okay. It's gonna take me just a minute to get this all set up exactly the way I want it to be, but that's all right. Right now, we're currently doing one cryptid a week, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. I do enjoy making the bigger figures. I just also know that they take an exceptionally larger amount of my time to do. So we might do those more on like a special occasion kind of thing. I still have one more large figure in mind that I want to do to kind of like round out a trio for my Legends setup that I'm doing. So I'm gonna throw another legendary creature in there, but we will wait. Like I think doing mythological creatures in the larger figures and then cryptids in the pewter I just like doing it that way for some reason. I don't know. I'm silly. But one thing I know I can start doing also is I can start making resin copies of the Beast of Busco. Those will be a little bit cheaper than the pewter ones. I'm gonna do some painted, some unpainted. Actually, I might do them all unpainted. I kind of want this foot to be more of the like in this pose, like the heel up. What I might have to do is put him in the freezer for a few minutes in order to get him to be more cooperative in that regard. Because otherwise that spot's gonna like taunt me. There we go. Mid step, over the shoulder look, Bigfoot. Watch out. Mark where the eyes will be. Mouth. I guess I could make the head bigger. Just a little bit. Like not a super huge amount. I'm also keeping an eye on a timer, baking some bread for my wife right now. So I've got maybe 20 minutes before I need to go up and turn off the oven. There's some parts of him that are going to be bare, but the most of him is going to be covered up in fur, which I guess I could start doing that now. Oh, making the head bigger was such a good move. And because of the hunch, I kind of want it to come down a bit more like that. Yeah. Yep, bigger brain. Still want to be able to stand up on his own, so I think balancing it out right there is good. Okay. Those muscles kind of joining in the right spots. There we are. So we're going to start working from the top down as far as like some details go because of this foot. Another thing I could do is just bake it as is and then smooth it a little bit, and then we can go through and add in hair and some detail, and that would also keep it from moving around on the armature a lot more. I don't want to make it more of a subtractive piece in that regard, because I'd just be taking away material more than like actually sculpting it out. But just still sculpture work, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite what I'm looking to do. All right, that foot is just not cooperating. Bigfoot.
Yeah, this is gonna be really easy for me now. Just
I definitely think what I'll do is I'll add the fur to the rest of the body, and then we'll do the feet and hands separately. Oh shit, what's up, Summer Status? Thank you so much. Sorry, I just caught the chat alert there. Kind of zoned in. Right on. Yeah, I don't know what all you've missed. We've got the Bigfoot here that we're working on. We just made pewter Mothman. That one's eyes all kind of boogered up. Don't know what I did there. Yeah, well, it's the best way I could get to stick them down. Like just a big chunk of cork. Especially on little figures like this. You can kind of take it out. He's got those little wire feet in there. So just pop them in and out as needed. Yeah, we've got some pewter Mothman, which I'm redoing a little bit. So that's okay though. And then we have some giant pewter Beast of Buscos that I have also like sculpted out and cast up in the last week or so. Oh, they're focused in. Yeah, we've got two more cryptid sculpts done. This one I need to trim all the excess pewter off. That won't take any time. Oh yeah. There's a lot of weight with it. So yeah, I figured I'm trying to get it in that iconic Bigfoot pose here. Like the head should be facing that way more, like over the shoulder. So yeah, I've just been knocking these out, doing something a little faster. So we're gonna start doing some hair work on him, and then we're gonna do the head, hands, and feet after he's had a chance to be baked. Oh, absolutely. Please do. I think it's still just Sam Sculpts. I haven't changed it, so pull my Discord up here. It's probably gonna be like, you have 18 updates. Oh, it's gonna be so much hair to do. All right, let's just get it on with. Yep. Oh, I was right. 18 updates. Thank you, Discord. Yeah, I've changed up my layout a little bit too, compared to what I was doing as while streaming. So I like what I've got going on a little bit more though. It's a bit more sleek, like to the point. Let's see here. Move this over. Start placing hair follicles one at a time. This is going to be the tedious part for certain. Yo, that's enormous. I love the pose. And yeah, it's definitely like big hands, but I love it. Yeah, that's looking awesome. Yeah, I love the way that looks. Even with the big hands. Like that's actually my favorite part. Yeah, that's kind of like me. I've been trying to do these smaller cryptid sculpts like once a week, just so that way I can feel like I'm getting something done, like just real fast. And then you get like something kind of cool out of it. Like I said, I've been casting these up out of pewter as I go, but I can also make some plastic resin copies too. I need to pick cryptids that are less hairy. Between Mothman and Bigfoot, I'm gonna need a break from hair and fuzz. I mean, you get good at it really fast, but poop man. I mean, there is many cryptids involving poop, strangely. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, as far as like my cryptids go, I think my next one is going to be either a mud mermaid, which is another Indiana cryptid where I live, or I'm gonna do there's the Flatwoods monster, which is kind of a cool one. I think that would look really awesome cast up in pewter. And it's either that or do Chupacabra. And for a larger figure, I'm not sure which mythical creature I want to do on that. Because I'm keeping cryptids and modern day monsters and pewter, and then doing a trio of beasts from mythology. So we have the medieval dragon, the cyclops. So that's true, yeah. Swamp Thing, I think, would be a badass one to do. Right? But he does have vines and foliage, so it's also like the Jersey Devil. But like I was saying, the Flatwoods Monster and Chupacabra also don't have a lot of hair. Like I said, I'm not gonna escape it, but I am gonna take a little break from it. Albeit though, this is going by fairly quickly right now. Just press that into the cork for the moment. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing some I'll do some busts for my next round of bigger sculpts, and I'm gonna do a lot of B movie monsters that are now in public domain. And there are there's so many of them. So many of them. Even others like Frankenstein's monster. Yeah, I had a little video game kick there too for a minute. And it does, it just sucks up your time. Especially since I was playing Slay the Spire for like pretty hardcore for like 2 or 3 weeks. And it was like, oh, I've got so many other things I need to do right now except play this game. The games like that trick you though, because it feels like they're going to be quick, right? And then all of a sudden you've spent 3 or 4 hours kind of losing your mind trying to find the best combo for this area, so on and so forth. Or even in like a Souls game. Ooh, very nice. I do enjoy watching indie games more than any like AAA title game. 'Cause AAA title games, they all feel the same. Yeah, that's true. So I had a thought just now, like because of the success of Markiplier's uh, Iron Lung movie, what other indie games do you think are going to suddenly have like large productions? Like, are we gonna eventually see like like Minecraft has had its movie now? Like video game movies are starting to become more of a thing. We have a new Mario movie coming out next week. It's like, are we gonna get Stardew Valley the movie? Terraria the movie? Well, even if it's just made by independent movie developers. Like there's people out there that are doing just as well. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy was huge. That was a huge movie. Yeah, like the bigger the franchise, the more it's going to draw attention. Like, because some of those franchises they already had toys. Like, there was no point for studios to be like, oh, we gotta, we gotta make all these Minecraft toys and stuff. It's like, no, they already have toys. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't play Iron Lung, but I watched like two or three different people do playthroughs of it, and it was a great game. Really eerie game. Loved it. Yeah, I'm curious to see like because there's some influencers out there that or even like just any online personality that probably is like, you know what I'd love to do? Like Factorio the movie. And it's just a movie about like two or three people building a factory and fighting bugs. Oh my god, yeah. Like that's right in that same wheelhouse of like dark indie horror game. Oh yeah. I think with Markiplier's success, it's set a bar and it's already set that bar miles high. Yes, a lot of YouTuber movies stink. I graded one recently that was not a very good film, and it's by a YouTuber that when I looked him up was like not doing too shabby as far as YouTube goes. And I'm not going to say the name out loud, but it's one of those situations where it's like, this was not a very good film. Like, compared to some of the other films they had made and had on their YouTube, I was kind of shocked at the quality we received for the festival I work with. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like, well, and also he had the fan base to come out and watch the film. That's the other thing. Like, he kept no one in the dark about the production, honestly. And that was a good move on his part. Like, everybody knew about Markiplier's movie. Everybody was ready to go see that. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just going and putting like layering the hair on a little bit at a time. And we're just going to keep working our way up and up and up until it's time to do the hands and feet. I'm going to leave them blank or just not there, and then we'll add in the details on those later because it'll also help me not squish it. Oh yeah, he does. The whole club is looking at Earth. All right, so I need to actually go up real fast. I've got some bread in the oven. My timer is going to go off in just a moment. So we're going to take a tiny little one. The whole stream looking at Earth. All right, so I'm going to go up, turn off my oven, get my bread out, and then I'll be right back. Just be a couple of minutes, I swear. Okay, I'm back. We've done it. We've saved the bread. Fresh gloves. Oh no. It's okay. I was trying to make like really, really low end stir fried rice last night, and mine did not turn out well either. So I might be taking another crack at that here after a while because I am starving. Like I feel like I did nothing but eat all day. I'm still like losing my mind right now. Oh no. That is some garlicky rice right off the bat. Oh no. Oh, yeah, that was part of my problem. I did not have my pan hot enough. Yeah, and that was my issue. I just made soggy rice. A little soy sauce on it. I follow Uncle Roger's advice when it comes to making fried rice. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh, there's nothing worse than the wrong kind of crunchy rice. I was gonna say 2 full heads of garlic. I would assume that's all you could be able to taste. Ooh, a vampire. That'd be a good one. Could do a Bela Lugosi bust. Talking about vampires there. That'd be good. Yeah, I've eaten many a screw up dinner, as I call them. Sometimes by the time I get home at night, like the rest of the family's asleep. Hmm. I think tonight's dinner is going to be bacon, eggs, and toast. But something about breakfast at night just kind of hits differently. Yeah, what'd you have to do to neutralize all of that? Oh yeah, have that pan like rolling hot. Like put oil in and watch the oil sizzle and kind of smoke a little bit. That was my mistake too. My pan was not hot enough. I didn't have enough oil in it. Things went wrong right off the bat. So speaking of tasting, a podcast I do with some friends. We stream it every couple of weeks. It's called The Rules of Wimdark, and we usually get some kind of weird snack, right? This time I was like, nah, I'm ordering the snack. So I ordered, and I can't remember the brand right now, but they were whole deep fried, honey roasted, spiced baby crabs from Japan. And I think I'm the only one who kind of liked them. I was the only one who ate one at the show because we were in between D&D games, so we played the Dark Souls board game. They I liked them. It was definitely just an intense like fish flavor. Uh, Now I normally like fish, but it also came with I don't know what the other seasonings were. I say that they were not strong enough, whatever the other seasonings were. But I had ordered two bags because I'm like, I like seafood and shellfish and honey and spices and crunch. These will be delicious. And I gotta say, the crunch, I've never eaten something that had a more satisfying crunch. Like, there's really almost nothing to them. It's like a very like ocean flavored potato chip, but I'm gonna probably be trying to make some kind of a like horseradish dipping sauce for them tonight, just so that way they're a bit more palatable. So like I said, they weren't terrible to me. I'll say that, but it was my wife was just like she had like two or three of them, was just like, oh my god, I actually really like these. It's like, well, that's good, because we have 8 ounces of these to go through, and they weren't little bags; they were good sized bags. So you probably got like 3 dozen of these little tiny crunchy crabs in each bag. But I gotta make a sauce to make them a little bit more palatable. Or like if I had like a big bowl of ramen, I definitely would have stuck a couple of them on top of it. Honestly, maybe just a little soy sauce on them might help cut the fishy flavor just a bit. I might just give that a try later on. I think I want to say Kohiko was the snack brand flavor. I got them off Amazon. They were really, like I said, I was just kind of like, yeah, these will work for our weird show with all these people who have weird tastes. One person couldn't eat them just because it was shellfish, and I was like, oh shit, should have thought about that. Man, this is going to be chunky with this hair. Like, all that detail is just disappearing. We're going to see how this goes. This might be a second attempt kind of sculpture. Because I did that with Mothman too. That was my second attempt at Mothman. When I made the pewter one. Because the first one was, I would say, comically bad for my normal skill level. Like, didn't even save it. Just chucked that bad boy back in the melting pot. You know what? I might hop on. I'll be streaming tomorrow too, so after I get off work. So I will definitely check into that, my guy. I do enjoy games like any game that has a magic system. So many of them just kind of like rip off of JRPGs. I actually enjoy seeing games with unique magic systems in them. So yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll hop on. I'll check it out. I thought I did follow you on here. Give me just wait just a second. Yeah, I'm following. Hot dog. Let's see if I get any notifications here. Let's just go to the webpage. Here we go. Come on, just open it, Twitch. Jeez. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I've got you set up there. Notifications are set. Yeah, we're good. All right. Yeah, I might be at work tomorrow when you're doing your thing, but I can try and hop on for a minute. Check out the game. No worry, man. You have a good night, Summer. Hey, you too. Keep it up. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to really be streaming much longer. Like I said, I'm getting hungry. But we're at least going to get the hair on one leg done. And my camera would not look so awful. Ugh. Still struggling to show at least some detail underneath this. Like this was just so much hair. I feel like I made a grave error. Hmm. Maybe this is just the way it's going to be. Well, there is a portion of a leg done. Not bad. It's definitely it's a little thicker than I was wanting, but maybe it'll all work out. I'm just gonna have to trust the process on this one. Yeah, maybe it'll work out. It's kind of growing on me a little bit. Once it has more hair on it, I'll probably change my mind. But in any case, I'll call it there for the night, everybody. So thank you all so much for having stopped by and watch the stream. Summer Stasis, thank you so much. Court, if you're watching, thank you so much as well, buddy. Appreciate it. But that'll be it for tonight. I am hungry and I need to go make some food. So thank you all so much once again. If you're stopping by the VODs and watching there, thank you as well. It always amazes me when people stop by the VODs. I never expect it, and yet it happens all the time. Oh, Dr. Meepers. Oh my God. Open Radish Waffles. Thank you so much for the follow. Oh shit, I hit my follower goal. Let's go. All right, I'll stick around for just a few more minutes then, Dr. Meepers. I'll stick, and you too, Radish. So yeah, trying to work on Bigfoot. Since we now have our Mothman, which I'm redoing these molds because of all that flashing around the feet. It's awful to try and clean up, and I hate it. But the Mothman turned out pretty good. Overall. And then we have our Beast of Busco, our giant turtle. Smashing through the rowboat. There's a little bit of flashing I need to clean up with these, but it honestly doesn't take much. So, yeah, these are turning out really well. Yeah, that's the Beast of Busco. That's the legendary giant turtle of Indiana. That I have it smashing through a boat for size reference only. There was never an account of it attacking anybody. It was just there. So, ta-da. And then rather than just making big turtle, I was like, you know what? We'll at least put him like smashing through a boat. Yeah, this one's in solid pewter as well. Which is what Bigfoot's going to be. He'll be in solid pewter too. Otherwise, yeah, it's been kind of like a bit of a slow week with springtime around the corner here. It's just been like get out and do stuff every day. And I've been getting up earlier and earlier and staying up not as late. So it's like, oh no, I'm throwing off my whole schedule. But I'm getting a lot of stuff done. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Pewter, that's right, they're metal. Because I got a whole bunch of pewter miniatures from some friends a few years ago. And they moved away. And I was like, hey, do you want this pewter, all these minis? Like, nah, you can do what you want with them. So I melted down probably 50 Reaper miniatures into all of this pewter that you see right here. I had poured it up into these little bricks, like so. And now I've been slowly reusing them and turning them into new minis that I'm making, like Mothman and Beast of Busco, and so on and so forth. There's actually several more. Like I said, I need to redo the Mothman because trying to cut these feet out with the jewel saw and a Dremel is not fun. So I'll be redoing them just so that way they're easier to fill up and clean up and have ready to roll. So all of those can go over there. And then I thought I had another. Yeah, I have to have a little hot pot that I have. It's a little at-home smelting kit. Gets to like 750 degrees. It's the perfect range for melting silver, or not silver, sorry, tin, pewter, and lead. And bismuth. So I have 4 metals I can cast with from my melting pot. And I have 4 mystery chunks because I had this great big, like it was a big ring. It was made of metal. It was like something you'd put like a fancy like pottery thing on, or your orb if you wished to ponder it. And I had it for years and I meant to melt it down. So the other day I melted it down and I have these bricks. But the problem is I don't actually know which metal these are. Yeah, I was taking a break from it. I do a lot of things in plastic, a lot of resins. So one of the things is this. I don't know if this is pewter, tin, or just straight up lead that I'm holding right now. So every time I touch these, I go wash my hands. It's soft. Um, it has not oxidized the same way that the pewter did. It's not even like it's not shiny. No, nope. So yeah, I don't know exactly what it's gonna. This is pewter. This one right here. Oh right, yeah. And this is similar, but tin, like I said, like what they make soda cans out of, also melts at the same temperature range. So it's either, like I said, it's either pewter, tin, or bismuth, or not bismuth, but or lead. Um, and it could straight up be lead. I don't know how old that item was that I picked up at a thrift store. They're like, yeah, I'll melt this down, dude, because I it had kind of that same patina that like it looked like this before I had melted it down. So it had this patina. So depends. Pewter, as it stands, is typically mostly pewter, but some, depending on where you get it from, like this all came from Reaper Miniatures. So these are 99% pewter and like 1% bismuth, or possibly even 1% lead. In this form, with that much pewter, the lead is kind of inert. It wouldn't do any damage, which is why you can make miniatures out of pewter and sell them, things like that. Um, but yeah, like, so I need to like find a safe spot for these. So I'll quit fucking with them on stream and get my hand sanitizer over here. Move that back so it's squared up with the camera. But sometimes mixing metals and alloys won't always work. Like if I were to melt bismuth down in my hot pot, yeah, really make sure it's a part of me. Microplastics and lead, I'm fucked. So, but if you would sometimes go to like use the pot to make something else, depending on what metal is still in there or what was on your tools. Ooh, that is a great idea. I also have some rubbing alcohol. I don't think that's going to do me a lot of good, but I've been doing what I can. But yeah, let me get some D-lead. Depending on the house I'm in where I live, I can just spray that on the walls and watch them disintegrate. But yeah, so in any case, anymore, I probably won't be getting anything pewter, quote unquote pewter, from like an antique store or a thrift store anymore, just because I'm not able to tell the difference between lead, pewter, and tin, just as it is. So, I can also do like a chemical test on it, but I don't have the chemical test. I think there is a way to tell by like tone. If you hit it just right, like there's a certain tone that it can make. I don't think that's quite good enough. This is more of a thud than I'm going to feel like we have a problem. No, it does the same. I guess another test we could try, like scratching. See, they even scratch the same, so I can still add marks like that. So here's mystery brick. Oh, that's way softer. Okay, that's way, way, way softer. So I think I've answered my question that that is definitely probably just pure fucking lead. So we're gonna go and remove that from everything really fast. Probably they would probably, if I went to like a welder, they'd probably just uh, heat test it to see how it would react underneath of a torch. In a jewelry shop, they would probably be able to actually do a good chemical test. Oh, this works. Well, 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 the gang is all here. How's it going, Court? How you doing, buddy? I was just over there washing what's potentially actually like a lot of lead off my hands. So here we go, though. Yeah, I'm putting the fur on the Bigfoot. I'm not quite for sure if I like how chunky it is, but we'll see. Nice. I had your stream open. I think it probably everybody just heard me in stereo there for no reason. It's probably because it kicked over. That's probably one of the people there. Did I just technically get involved in a raid on myself? Dr. Meepers, you know that I handle all of my sculptures with love and care and finesse of uh, a klutz. So, how many times did poor Frank take a tumble? So right now, what I am sculpting with, this is just some super sculpey polymer clay that I have mixed together. Yeah, they're twins now. Yay! I took some very old, I mean very, yes, shoot it to me on Instagram. Yeah, this is some very old super sculpey firm. Like it is rough. Like it just shatters. Oh, look what you did, Court. Now everybody's invested in what you've made. But I mix that with a block of original Sculpey, the white stuff. It's like Oreo cream filling you can stick in your oven and heat up. And I just mixed it up together until I had like this kind of lightish gray color here. These can actually get mashed together now. I don't know, I had two separate balls. And it's kind of just brought a little bit of life back to that super gray uh Sculpey clay. And now I'm just slowly putting it on this Bigfoot. That's what I've been making all of these out of. Unfortunately, when I was demolding the Beast of Busco, as you can see, everything's good, everything's great, everything's not good. His neck is missing just because the mold is very, 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 very tough. But I did save the pieces to this when it popped when I was taking it out of the mold. so I can put him back together. I'm also cleaning the clay off of my Mothman because I need to, like I said, I was redoing the molds. So this will be the newer part. Not totally beheaded. Definitely having neck issues. And yeah, like I said, I was just redoing the mold for the Mothman because all of this crap is such a pain to saw off. Because I forgot like some key elements to pewter casting when I made this mold. So live and learn. All right, so we're gonna put some hair right there. And I'm not gonna put hair on every ounce of Bigfoot, but he's gonna get a lot of hair. This part is just so time consuming. And one thing I'm definitely going to do is I'm not going to try and detail the feet and the hands and the face right now. With as much as this clay is moving around when I put this hair on, it's just going to wiggle away. So I'm going to do all the hair work first, and then we'll sculpt the feet, hands, and face. So the fur will probably take me a couple of streams to do, but we did that leg in probably like 20 or 30 minutes. So if I stick around for give it another 15, 20 minutes, we can probably get this leg done too. I'm glad I stopped myself from adding too much muscle detail because I was like, oh yeah, I'll put this detail in and then the fur can kind of follow that detail around. And no, all that detail just was pulled away like it was in a black hole. Just sucked up by the fur. Like, oh, you wanted to show off this leg muscle? No. So I'm kind of like pushing the clay around here and there to give it a flow, like it's at least moving from one place into the next. We're trying to, without it just looking like big hairy pants for the start. Now I kind of want to make a big pair of hairy pants. Yeah, I definitely was kind of torn. Like I kept the pose from the original Patterson Gimli footage for Bigfoot as much as I felt I should, but we're definitely going with a more modern Bigfoot appearance because that you can't. There's no way you can't tell me that original Patterson Gimli film wasn't just somebody in a really fucked up looking Bigfoot costume. Oh, and Dr. Meepers, I need to ask you a question. I have had many people that live near me or in my town go on vacation in the last 2 weeks because of spring break. Yeah, thank you, Radish Waffles. Thank you. Yeah. But they've all gone to Florida and have come back saying it was colder than it was here. And I'm like, no, you're silly. We had snow last week. There's no way Florida was colder than here. I just need to know, was Florida actually cold or are they all just being big babies about it? One thing I love about Bigfoot lore, by the way, is how many people now have businesses that revolve around the existence or the experience of Bigfoot. If you want to Google right now, Bigfoot camps, where there's people out there who will take you on these. Damn. Oh my God, the legends were true then. It was cold in Florida. Yeah, my in-laws are down in Florida right now as like the fourth set of people I know that are like, yeah, we're going to Florida for vacation. Also, being from Indiana in the Midwest, they drove. That's the way our last bit of snow was too. Like it snowed and it was pretty good snow for couple of hours and then it was just gone. But yeah, I would love to do one of the Bigfoot camping excursions. Yeah, see, for Indiana, where I'm at, it typically will start snowing sometimes as early as like October. No, not the mango trees. Fuck. But this year, we didn't get our snow until probably like mid to late January, first week of February. But it fucking snowed. We had like 20 inches of snow here, and it would not melt. Stuck around for 3 weeks. And then one day it went from being like 12 degrees and suddenly it was 56 for 2 days back to back and the snow was gone. Yeah, I'd love to do like a Bigfoot excursion or go on one of the cryptid hunting uh parties. Like just to see the shenanigans they do to try and get you convinced that Bigfoot's real and that you'll spend another 2 grand to come back. Oh, I was genuinely starting to wonder if we were even going to get snow this year. Like I had all this firewood I'd cut for heating the house. I had bought a new sled for the kiddo. We were all set, and then it was fucking weeks before we ever had snow. I'm sure they have someone out in the woods wearing the furry costume. They've got to have somebody out there that's just like, All right, hey Ted, we got ourselves some more campers coming in. Can you get out the black, like the big black hairy costume this time? Oh, that one's at the cleaners. All right, get out the dark red costume this time. And yeah, we're gonna do the same. Yep, you're gonna walk along the ridge and throw rocks at them at night. It's gonna be great. They're paying $3,000 for a possible injury. Like some of those Bigfoot hunt, like those cryptid hunting camps that you can go on, are just nutty. Also, ghost hunters. Some of the ghost hunting camps, I gotta say, I'm not a big believer in that kind of stuff, just because I just don't like the idea of ghost. Like, oh, yes, you're in a building and you heard something slam. Yes, because drafts exist. If it'll do it at your door at home when you have a window open in the other room, what do you think it does in an abandoned prison? Yeah, one of the first years where we did the film festival that I make trophies for here in Indiana, they essentially had a film that was kind of like they entered it and it was kind of cool, so we're giving him a spotlight because we needed to fill time kind of film. And it was all about like a town in Georgia with a train station that was supposed to be haunted. And yeah, I've had plenty of weird experiences happen in life too, to where I'm still not like, it must be dead people. I genuinely just feel like it's there's other explanations, but the dead people's the fun explanation. That being said, though, dolls, haunted dolls creep me the fuck out. You could put me in an abandoned prison, and I don't think I would be brought in to explain this. Yeah, that's what so many of those are. But yeah, I would rather stay a night in like an abandoned prison or like some forgotten mine someplace. Like easy peasy lemon squeezy. I had a point with that, and all I remembered was the ending, and now I don't know why I was saying all that. It's been a week, gang. We had kiddo home all week last week because of spring break, and I'm tuckered out. It also did not help at work at the restaurant where I'm at, where everybody came back from spring break all at the same time in my tiny little Indiana town. Yep, yep. Like graveyards. Oh yeah, haunted dolls. Fuck haunted dolls. All right. There's some weird shit that happens there. Like you can make toys and not make them look like they want to like murder you in your sleep. No, 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 no. We don't need to have that in life. There's some of them like the Annabelle doll. Oof. But I don't believe in ghosts and stuff. I'm not going to talk bad about Annabelle. No. Annabelle is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lady, and I don't need a doll haunting me via the internet. And yes, I did read recently that Annabelle the doll has struck again. Yeah. Oh, don't, Dr. Neepers, no, please. It's just a Raggedy Ann doll that looks like it's a bit more raggedy than Ann anymore. And boy, is it just chock a block full of evil. Like kept in a box, under lock and key, protocol to open it. Like you have morning rituals and ceremonies you have to hold if you are one of the curators at the museum or the tour it's on. Like they take their Annabelle shit seriously. And honestly, for as many coincidental deaths that have occurred near Annabelle, I would too. Annabelle is a toy that has to be treated like Hannibal Lecter. Like wheeled in a box, chained down, locks on everything. I'm surprised they don't put a muzzle on the doll. There is another doll that is in the Florida Keys. It's a little sailor, like it's supposed to be like a little sailor boy doll that I think is also partially deadly. And I can't remember that doll's name now. But I remember when it flooded in the Keys really bad, and the museum where he was housed went underwater. Like, it's a big building, but for the most part, it was surrounded by like 20 feet of water. And when the flooding finally subsided and people could go back inside, his case was not only open, but the doll was found 40 feet up in the ceiling. Like everything else was water damaged and covered in mold and like ocean gunk, but not that doll. Somehow or another, he got up into the gymnasium style ceiling of the museum, or someone had put him there. Exactly. Like no one's in the fucking building. All this other stuff that's supposed to be cursed, and the only thing that survives this massive flooding is a doll that's magically 40 feet above the ground now? Nah. Nah, that fucking doll can stay up there. Maybe. Apparently it wouldn't want to. It can go where it wants. So yeah, I don't fuck around with like if you tell me a doll's haunted, I'm just not going in that room. I might not go in your house. Like I have some friends that feel that way about like pet snakes. I'm not afraid of snakes. I'll go in your home if you have a snake. That's fine. Holy shit, is that a porcelain doll with a weird eye? Yep, we're not friends anymore. I'm leaving. Goodbye. And it's bad when I type in like creepy videos on TikTok once in a while. Because there are people who have their haunted doll collections and they go through their histories on TikTok. And it's like some of these are people that you know are just pulling your leg, like they've got strings attached to some of the dolls, which you can clearly see. But I don't want to risk it. Good. That is exactly where they deserve to be. Yeah, the only dolls I technically own are the ones I make. And they're not dolls, they're action figures. Okay, wait, that's not true. I do have three down here in the shop. I have my big stuffed plushy Alf from when I was a kid, a Bill the Cat stuffed animal, and Ernest's P. Worrell. Which, if you want to hear something cursed, let me grab Ernest down because this is some creepy shit. And let me Let me move this back because I'm sitting here talking about dolls, and it does remind me that I have this really, really creepy Ernest P. Worrell doll. Oh, since 2023, that's a good amount of time for them. Like they're fermenting. So here we go, a little bit of the Sam childhood. All the way back in like 1996, we've got Ernest P. Worrell, the doll, right? He's in pretty good shape. I've not ruined him, but ho ho ho. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, I don't like that it says I love you. I forgot that. Yep, hey Vern, it's Ernest. Yeah. Like my own cursed Jim Varney doll. Because that was the thing at the time. They'd make these fucking action figure, like giant dolls like this and sell them to kids for 30 bucks a pop, and they all had voice boxes in them. Yeah, I'm not kidding you, Ernest. That's what they did. All right, enough of him. Yeah, that is my most cursed thing. I often make the joke because it sits up on the shelf with my Alf doll and a Bill the Cat plushie that I call them the three wise men of my shop. Always there to give me good advice. Ernest, you can never be too dumb to be brave. Alf, you can never be so hungry you won't eat a cat. See, I had a Stretch Armstrong too until I overstretched Stretch Armstrong. And then I wasn't allowed to have another one. But only 90s kids remember why. Yeah, my Alf, I think he really could just use like a run through the washing machine. Otherwise, he's in pretty good shape. Let me grab him down. I already talked about him, right? Got to show off Alf and Bill the cat. But yeah, I keep these up out of reach of my kiddo because if I don't, they would wind up in her room. I like how this went from sculpture to like toy show off. So yeah, Alf needs to have a little run through the washing machine, but otherwise, he's looking pretty good. Oh my God, wait. I wonder if anybody owns the rights to Alf anymore. Could I be knocking out pewter Alfs? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Is there by some chance and grace and miracle that Alf could be in public domain-ish? Yeah, and then my Bill the Cat. Like he's just awful in every good way. He's got all of his little whiskers that still stick out in random directions. Again, I feel like he's definitely another one that could take a run through the washing machine. His little ratty tail hanging off of him back here. What year is this even made? 1987. For ages 3 and up. What's it say? Does it say for contents polyester? Wait, hang on. I think that there's a typo on the tag. Oh, okay, no, it just folded over at the right spot. I thought it said polyester. They put a W at the end there. Yeah. See, it's just another one of those things where they kind of grab the IP and then they just sit. Oh wait, I know the Bill Watterson's making the comic again, so. Or no, I'm thinking of Bill. I got stuck on Bill. You're thinking of Alf. Yeah, you're talking about Alf. Thank you. Yeah, like they just kind of randomly bring Alf out once in a while. Like, was it like 10 years ish ago where they tried to do like their version of Muppets Tonight, the talk show thing, but they were going to use Alf as the host instead? Oh well. Yeah, those are my most cursed shop items that I have down here. And actually, if I can find the last thing that I made long ago, it was the fiberglass shell for an animatronic monkey. Now, I took all the animatronics out of it because I needed them for another project. But that fiberglass shell was absolute nightmare fuel. Yeah, like they tried to bring back that Alf show on like it was like was it TNT? Were they trying to do it on Turner or something like that? It was one of the Turner channels, I remember. Or Spike when they were trying to be super edgy. We're bringing you uncensored Ren and Stimpy. It's not as fun if it's uncensored. You got to blatantly just put that shit out there sneakily. I do know that I think Seth Rogen just kind of started another run of the Muppet Show. I need to check it out. Oh my God, can I just say also, when it comes to streaming services now with some shows, where they're like, now there's no reason to wait for the show to come out. You can binge all 13 episodes of this series immediately on release. It's like, then there's no reason for me to come back. Like, that's half the point of like enjoying the weekly release. Like, it gives me that new thing. Like, we can at least get that from Crunchyroll. Yeah, I don't need to try and talk about the entire series in one conversation. Like, I actually appreciate animes that are like, nope, you get them once a week. Fucking deal with it. And I'm like, good, I will. That's what I wanted. Because there's some animes I'm never trying to catch up on. Sorry, One Piece. I'll just pick up from more recent shit and read the wiki up until that episode. Like, I can get caught up that way. I don't have time for 1500 something episodes. Now, one thing about that Bigfoot and what I'm doing right now is there's not going to be much to look at on the Bigfoot booty front here. I'm not going to have any separate cheeks. Bigfoot might be coming to our party, but he's not bringing any cake. No, unfortunately. No, I've sculpted too many things that wound up having like quite the ass on them in the past. I'm like, I gotta. Apparently, I'm just in a mood sometimes when I start sculpting things. And besides, from that Patterson Gimli film, I love that you can see absolutely almost no detail about Bigfoot whatsoever. So we gotta kind of have to keep it in that same wheelhouse. It's just fairly featureless, just form, just a ball of hair that looks like a pantsuit walking through the woods. And there was a time, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, me and some friends were actually thinking about doing like a Bigfoot movie. Uh, and then I got to thinking about it. I was like, guys, I know we all have property we can film on here, and like where I live, there's quite a bit of property. The problem is I don't know if somebody has hopped a fence that day and would go out to go hunting while we're in the middle of trying to shoot a Bigfoot thing, have them not see camera crews, and for some reason or other be like, today's the day. The good Lord has sent me Bigfoot to shoot in the head so I can make millions of dollars. The time is now. Because then it's just awkward for everybody. But I think also, thankfully, at that point in time, we all just got very busy with life, so no Bigfoot movie. But now that I've said it again out loud, I'm kind of like, damn, I have a lot of the stuff to make that suit too. Maybe, just maybe, one of these streams, I'll work on an actual Bigfoot suit. We'll head out into like the pasture and the woods behind my house and get some fucking like film footage of it. Just so long as I put up lots of signs, they're like, don't shoot the Bigfoot. It's just a fat guy in a big hairy suit. Don't do it. We're getting close to the end of my little snake of clay I had here for the hair. And once we've used that up, then I'm definitely going to call it for the night and go make some dinner because I'm starving. I've just been fighting through it right now to put the pants on our working man here. Oh, I just forgot the one in the Patterson Gimli film was actually a female Bigfoot. I might have to like sculpt out a really hairy chest on this Bigfoot. Then they specify it's supposed to have breasts. It's supposed to have booba. Could be a whole game changer here. So the size I'm working with right now is essentially about 2.5, a little over 2.5 inches tall. So let me try and. So it'll be a little taller than that once the hair's on. It'll probably actually be up to about 2 3/4 inches with hair. Unless I can keep it kind of corralled down around this mark. Yeah, it's been my attempt at getting back into sculpting miniatures without going all the way into like 28 mm scale. I am not very good at sculpting at that scale, so this is the best one we're getting. And yeah, thank you. I've actually been keeping it all kind of at about the same scale. The shell for our big turtle is supposed to be about 6 feet long. So if we line it up with the bottom of Bigfoot there, that'd be a couple more feet. So that'd make Bigfoot about 8 feet tall. If Mothman wasn't hunched over, he'd be about between 6 and 7 feet tall. So I've accidentally kept some of my critters in scale for my own project. Okay, we're gonna have the stomach exposed, like the skin there. Just put a little belly button on it for now. With the way the hair is on the legs, I almost want to just put some suspenders on him. All right. Now, I definitely want to try and get the hair a little bit differently with the texture. So what we're going to use to smooth out our Super Sculpey and kind of help add and blend this a little bit. Goo Gone! It slowly breaks it down just a little bit and allows it to kind of move around. But once I do this, it can change the texture to almost like that of I'd say chewed bubble gum is a good way to describe it. So once this is on here, and the brush can do its work also to kind of like move this hair around, get it where I would like it to go, smooth it a bit. It's going to be too gummy for me to use until it's had a couple of hours kind of dry off. So you can kind of keep brushing it until it fills in like lots of little gaps and air pockets that were left over. I'm just kind of brushing it in the direction I want the hair to flow. All right, I was worried about it looking too bulky, but now I think that's the call. Like, I think that's the move right there. And some of these spots, wrong side. What I need to do is actually make some more of these little spatula tools like this. I love these spatula tools. I just don't know if I love the shape of this one as much anymore. So I might wind up kind of making one. Take like an old nail or something and flatten it out and then Dremel it around a little bit. You can see where it's kind of like clinging now. It's not letting me push it as much. That is the Goo Gone doing its job and softening the surface. So we're going to take our time to not touch too many of the areas we don't want textured. Just very gently and easily. Take it easy. Can move that clay around to where we need it and get the texture we're looking for. So we get it kind of wavy like that. Yeah, well, it's a different, I think depending on the clay you're using, like if I was using monster clay, the lighter fluid would be a better option because it evaporates quickly. And I've tried using it on Super Sculpey. I can't say that I am that taken aback by it as being better. I know some people swear by it. And like I have a jar of it over here as well. Like I said, I use it for monster clay a lot. But when it comes to Sculpey, like I said, I've just over the years come to prefer to use Goo Gone, especially as like a final coat kind of sealant, or not sealant, but solvent, to let you finally remove like any and all little screw ups you may have. It'll like just liquefy all those little crumbs, and then you can also make some liquid Sculpey with it, and you can paint that on in places as needed. Try and fill in gaps or take care of problem areas. Like a little liquid polymer clay goes a long way too. And since this clay was already not sticking to its armature very well, I think kind of softening it up and letting it soak in, because just that little bit I did on the surface has completely saturated the clay on the legs here. So it is making it pretty goopy and gummy all the way through. But it'll probably help it stick to the armature. So yeah, that's going to be much closer to what I'm looking for as far as hair goes. Yeah, like I said, for polymer clay, I like Goo Gone because it's very quick. I have some Roncinol lighter fluid. It's this stuff. Hang on. Yeah. And this is good for lots of like modeling clays. I would say any of the like off the shelf modeling clay you could buy at most like big box stores like Target and Walmart and all those places. It'd be good for those. A Chavant's, it would be good with as well. The Monster Clay. And it has worked for me with Sculpey in the past, like I said, but because it evaporates so quickly, it's good for touch-ups, but you can't really make anything like a liquid Sculpey with it. So now we're going to take a bigger, fluffier brush that won't eat away our details that we just put in. We're going to just gently brush it all back down. Since it does kind of push it up when you do that. Just a bit here and there. And even once this is baked, I can go through and take a little fine tip for my Dremel, and I can knock out and add in whatever details I think need to be put in there. And there we are. So hairy legs and tummy. Yep. that's my ambition now, some food. But well, Radish Waffles, thank you so much for joining me tonight and subscribing. I appreciate that. Dr. Meepers, love that you came by. Miss seeing you all the time, but I know life is busy for both of us. Court from Court's Creations, thank you for being here. And anybody else that showed up too. Go have some dinner. Yeah, I should be back on tomorrow, and because I normally stream on Tuesdays, I've been changing up my schedule, so don't pay attention to the schedule on Twitch. I've been trying to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays every week. I didn't do it yesterday, so I'm probably going to stream on Friday again as well, just to kind of make up for that. So, yep, but I will be here making monsters. So until then, everybody, I will catch you then.